Growth transformation is very exciting, but it can also be very challenging as well, which actually makes it a lot of fun. Most of the unlocks require real cross-functional collaboration at a level that, in some organizations may not have happened in the past. The intersection of supply chain, marketing, and sales to do new things much more effectively is easy to say, but can actually be very challenging to do, particularly in a large organization. The other really big challenge, and this is true for both large and small organizations, is that things do not always go right in execution. The client may be running a very rigorous transformation program, and a third of the initiatives, frankly, may not be working. And it's critical to understand whether that is poor execution or, frankly, that it just wasn't a great idea. As we think about a growth transformation, there are a number of real success factors. The first is top team commitment. It's critical. It's obvious for me to say that, but actually you really have to ensure that the top team is committed, both kind of, frankly, emotionally and behaviorally, that they're going to act different. And then, it's always very useful if the incentives are fully aligned as well to drive that growth. That is the number one success factor, having a top team that has signed up for the full potential, the realistically achievable potential, and is going after it no matter what. The second thing I would say is a success factor is to really challenge what has been done in the past. In many cases, businesses have faltered because they've focused a little bit too much, frankly, on the short term and how to make numbers this year, this quarter, and so on and so forth. And so they've got into patterns of behavior on things like pricing and sales that actually have worked in the past, but in the future, those things aren't going to endure. You might have run out of room on pricing. You might have run out of room in the way you're running the sales force. And so it's really key to take a very fact-based and objective view as to the full potential of the business and what actually needs to change. So it's critical that an effective program includes a number of elements. The first of those is a very disciplined approach. There is a very disciplined approach to identifying things that will help you grow and then executing those things that will actually help you grow. And so keeping the discipline, the rigor, the cadence, the performance management, all of those things are just as important on the growth side as they are on the cost side. Another critical success factor is actually to build confidence. And so it is always very important to have a few quick wins in the first few months to help the organization feel good about the journey they're on, because this is a hard journey. The good news on the growth side is there are often things you can do in the short term to give yourself a little bump. And we tend to find 10, 20, 30% of those in the course of doing a diligence up front, and we make sure that we execute those quickly and early. We have found that many organizations will actually rerun a diligence every couple of years, re-identify the full potential for their business, repeat the process, typically without us, occasionally with us, to reset what their full potential is, to fill the kind of pipe of initiatives up again and drive the next wave of growth. So the other real thing is incentives and performance management and resetting, goals and filling the pipe again. That really makes a difference as well. And then the final one there is talent. Having a talented top team who really believes, who can really perform, who can be very fact-based and objectives and figure out what is going on. Talent, capability, and then rerunning the discipline process. Those are the big three things to ensure that the gains endure over time. The critical success factor in the long term is actually capability building. If we don't transform a client's capabilities, we may have helped them for a couple of years, but we haven't helped them for the next 5 or 10 years. And so shifting the underlying capabilities of the organization is actually incredibly important. It is, to be honest, very easy to drop in the special forces and fix pricing, fix the sales force, change incentives, all that kind of stuff. But the reality is that bump will last for a year or two unless there's an enduring shift in the client capabilities. An effective approach to building client capabilities varies quite widely depending on the situation. In some cases, it's a work with, shoulder to shoulder, see one, do one, teach one approach. And we may have some measure of formal training alongside that with our consultants. In other cases, it's a big, frankly, digital capability building program. and we'll deploy a learning management system to train the front line on new ways of doing things. In other cases, it's actually about talent acquisition. One approach could include actually a recruiting program where we actually help senior client executives source and recruit talent to build out a wholly new capability. So in terms of ensuring sustainability of the long-term games, the most important thing is building capabilities. Particularly on the commercial side, the environment changes. Consumers change, customers change, new competitors enter, so you need to be able to adapt to what's going on. And an enduring revenue management capability or a fantastically flexible sales capability with really talented humans at the front line, that is the single best way to ensure that gains endure.